Hey, welcome to Qimen. This is Dougles Chan. Today we're going to touch base on this very interesting topic called indirect wealth. So what does this indirect wealth means? Well, basically there's something called direct wealth, there's something called this indirect wealth. So direct wealth is something where you gather your wealth using normal method whereby you do profit, you do trading, you do business. But indirect wealth can also means things like investment in Forex, stock market, gambling, business collaboration, whereby you may take a little bit part, or maybe like an investor, or buying lottery, or inherit a fortune. These are called indirect wealth. So today we are going to base on 奇门遁甲 and see a person's 八字 to identify whether he or she is able to have a indirect wealth. Alright, so this is the chart that you're looking at, which is called the 奇门遁甲 八字 chart. And to identify where are you, you will have to look for a day stamp. Where is the day stamp? Day stamp is over here, which is symbolized as a day. So there's a symbol which is called the GUI, called the Kui, pronounced as Kui. So look at where is the Kui. This is one over here in this box number 2. And then there's another one which is the box number 4. So this is your identity whereby you are located in box number 2 and you are located in box number 4. So what does it mean? Why is there two different boxes? So in box number 2, this is where you started to born, and then that's your life where you begin. But after a while, like 30 years, 40 years in your life, then your energy from box number 2 change to box number 4. So where this is your energy lies after specific years, for example 30 years old or 40 years old. There's no strict guideline, but end of the day you will find your character change, and we'll be able to identify which box are you after a while. Alright, so how do we calculate a indirect wealth? So you have to find where is the indirect wealth symbol. So what does indirect wealth symbol stand for? Which it stands for Sangmen, which is English is called injury. Although the word is called injury, but in 奇门遁甲 it symbolizes many things. So one of the meaning is indirect wealth. So you have to pay attention that you don't just see an injury, it means you freak out and then things will go bad. It's not really true, but this is another meaning of indirect wealth, which is called injury. So in this indirect wealth, which is called injury, is located at box number 1. So if you understand the 5 element rules, we have to take into consideration whether each of them is able to be in harmony or not in harmony. So this indirect wealth, which is in the water element. This box number 1 is water element. Okay, box number 2 over here is earth, and box number 4 over here is wood. So once you understand the relationship between the 5 elements, we're able to see whether they are in harmony. So let's do step by step. We look at box number 2 and box number 1 to see whether they are in harmony or not. So this is the indirect wealth, this is you. So meaning that when earth and water meets, earth controls the indirect wealth, meaning that you control the indirect wealth, which means that it's not really a good sign. So I can say that in the beginning of the life itself, your indirect wealth may not be so fantastic. That means you actually control the thing, meaning that it will not be so fantastic at all. There's no harmony in this aspect. And we move on to the life later, whereby you grow older, somewhere around 30 years old or 40 years old. So from there, we see that this is the box 1, which is still the indirect wealth. And yourself is over here, which belongs to the wood element. So water and wood. Water produces the wood, which means that the indirect wealth is helping you directly and producing you. That is to say that in a nutshell, as a whole, your energy of indirect wealth will actually produce you, meaning that you may not really have to do a lot of things and the wealth will continue to be with you in that aspect. So having said that, if you look at this chart itself, so for the first half of the life itself, I would not recommend the person to go into indirect wealth focus. So after that, once you grow a little bit older, indirect wealth will come slowly but steadily. Okay, so this is how the thing will come about in terms of this indirect wealth. Alright, so I hope you understand a little bit more of indirect wealth. Thank you very much for watching.